Didn't lose my Wi-Fi. Well, we up in there now, Jay. Live broadcast. We streaming it. What's up, broski? Everything good?
Oh, everything, man.
Hey, man. You know
I'm
what?
excited about this.
Yeah, you and me both, man.
Branding.
Oh man, this is so exciting, man. This is such a phenomenal topic. And that's one thing I shared to folks a little earlier. I was sharing with people how important it is, man, to go with people who have experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of folks putting stuff out here nowadays, but man, I mean, folks that have experience can really lay down a foundation to help you move to the next level, to be that brand, become that brand new you. So we're gonna hold off for a few minutes. I want you to hit them with this song, but let's get a few folks up here.
I have to play my theme song to my new, the rebrand new. So
yeah, man. Yeah. So it's really something, man. But this topic right here is like a hot topic, man. It's a topic that man, folks need this, not just nationally, but globally.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like globally, because I've had people from Budapest and from Shanghai and all these different places reach out, man, and share, some of the needs they have, in their parts of the world. So this is not something, that we can take lightly, because it's serious business, man. I mean, this is like, for some people, their fate moving forward is going to depend on their ability to rebrand or reinvent themselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All that depending on people now, man, that's out the door, brother. It's like, I'm saying to folks, you need to make this happen, man. And you need to take charge of it. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Hamill Hall? This is another workforce development professional that just jumped on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Hamill? No, I know him, Hamill. I was in his wedding in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah, man. That was a long time ago. Hamill, good brother. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So sad.
But I agree with you. I agree with you, Coach D. This is how successful you are a lot of times is determined by the brand you put out there, your personal brand, personal branding. So this is a very important topic. So, but before I can even get into talking about branding, I gotta just get myself, because I'm big on music. I gotta get myself hyped up. So if you don't mind, I just gotta play my theme.
So just do what you gotta do.
So
and everybody join in with us, y'all. Here we go.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's Jay the Entertainer. Check it out. If things ain't been
Here we go. Hey, Eva.
So all you gotta do is switch it up. If you want something different,
listen to the words, y'all.
It's time to rebrand yourself.
Listen to the words.
I'm brand new. All brand new. Come on. I'm brand new. All brand new. I'm brand new.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody, let me hear that. I'm brand new.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
All brand new. Come on, I'm brand new. All brand new. Come on, come on. Here we go. I got a new attitude now. All brand new. Had to rearrange things. All brand new. Be brand new. Now my life brand new. I'm stuck now, feeling all brand new. I got a new attitude now. All brand new. Had to rearrange things. All brand new. Had to think brand new. Now my life brand new. I'm stuck now, feeling all brand new. You know what the definition of insanity is, right? It's when you're doing the same old thing and expecting a different outcome. Nah, that's crazy. It doesn't work that way. You see, growth requires constant change. You got to be forward thinking and open to the idea.
Break it down, man.
Yourself. Come on. Now, let me go ahead and warn you. Everybody's not going to like this new you.
Come on.
You might have to cut some people off temporarily, and you might have to cut some people off permanently. It all starts with a new attitude. New walk through you.
Yeah.
Brand new game, new rules. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Come on.
Brand new. All brand new. All brand new. All brand new.
Yeah.
Brand new.
All brand new. Man, listen here. Listen, y'all saying this live for the first time. That song gonna take off right there. Well, that song gonna take off, bro.
I believe in the power of music, and I just believe on top of the book, that, the Rebrand New book. I just want to do a record that was like a soundtrack to the book, if you will. Anyway, man, I always get hyped up about we get together, Darrell, and we start talking about leadership and different things. But I tell you what, man, this subject here is super key and super important. And
yeah.
I'm just excited to be talking about this.
Well, let me say this, man. It's my hope that as people listen to us, they'll first of all understand, like, you have been a successful artist, and I want you to share your story in just a moment. But you're going to talk about something from an expertise perspective, and that is, how you rebranded yourself. You know what I mean? And I want to talk about how I rebranded myself. You know what I mean? And reinvented myself. Almost it feels like a party up in here. Yeah, it is a party up in here, man. Hey, that song you will be hearing again before this interview is over. So get ready. It's going to come back. But we are brand new.
I just went on and shared the live feed.
Yeah.
Post.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second while you're talking. I'm going to share it to my LinkedIn too.
Yeah, and pop it up in there in LinkedIn if you can, because there's some folks on LinkedIn.
Right,
but listen, I want everybody to walk away from this session understanding, and hear Coach out when I say this. This is the beginning of the end of you depending on anybody to create your future. You're gonna create your own. You're gonna say what you want. You're gonna say what I want to be. And what you're going to do as a result is put together a plan of action and go for it. So we can't in an hour give you wave a wand and create a miracle. But as two experts that have both reinvented themselves, rebranded themselves, we're going to talk to you about just the concept itself. You know what I mean? And why it's important today for people to really consider reinventing themselves, man. This is not a time to sit back and wait for individuals to be bringing things your way. You got to go get them. You got to say, this is what I want, and I'm going to go get it. You see what I'm saying? Jay, let me break something down for just a moment. Let me share this real quick.
Go ahead.
And I want you to share your stuff. I want to share a quick story. This is not the long-term reinvention. This is recent. All right. So in February, March, I'm like everybody else. I'm out here doing it. I got my grind on. You know how it is. We out here we doing this and doing that. We're making it happen, man. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a meeting with a state leader, and she said, "Hold up, Coach, I just got an email from the governor." I said, "Oh, really?" She said, "Yes." I said, "What the email says?" Something she said about this COVID-19, and all the state offices are going to be closing down. I said, "State offices closing down?" She said, "Yeah, they look like he's about to shut everything down." And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, but what does that mean for us?" Because I got a contract with them.
Yeah.
And so she's saying, "Chances are we're not going to be doing any work with you." I was like, "Hold up, wait a minute." So I was like, all right. So then I left there. Next thing you know, I'm getting email after email, brother, after email. We can't do the conference. Keynote canceled. This stopped, that stopped. Man, for 90% of my work was gone.
Man.
Let's talk about reinvention. All right. Let's talk about reinvention.
Yes.
And so now what most people would do, Jay, in that scenario, they go get some Netflix, some popcorn, some booze, and they're gonna drown in their miseries.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so I don't do the booze stuff, but I did get a little Netflix going on for about a week. I said, hold up, how our brother just lose 90% of his business? But this is what I did. And this is a term I want everybody to jump on. It's called disruptive innovation. That's a powerful term. Disruptive innovation. Because what had happened in actuality is it wasn't a curse that happened, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. See, leaders, this is important. I hope you folks got notes because we're going to be kicking it. Yes. Leaders seek opportunity in crisis. That takes a powerful leader. And so I said, okay, how am I going to be relevant moving forward? And so I sat down and put together a plan of action to reinvent myself. And I went from this dude that was standing on all these stages, going to all these events, to say, man, I'm gonna do it right in my home on this computer. I'm gonna be right here.
Absolutely.
And this is what I said. I said, I'm gonna be doing better right here than I ever was stepping on those stages. I want to be able to impact people all over the world from the comforts of my office, home office, or my actual office. And I put a plan together, and I reinvented my website. I reinvented my social media pages. You know what I mean? I did all this. I reinvented everything. And you know what happened, Jay? Because I believe in what's called the magnetic effect. Okay. Once that's it. Thank you, Bernice. You're right. So true. So I believe in the magnetic. See, this is the magnetic effect. Passionate person pursues passion. Okay. And like a magnet, a metal to magnet, resources start coming. And then next thing you know, man, I'm getting this call, and I'm getting that call. I'm getting this email, that email. Now let's jump ahead today. Now I got, well, I'm trying to figure out how to do. Man, there's so much stuff that flooded up in here. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Because you know what I did, Jay? I reinvented myself.
Absolutely.
So I want folks to know what we're talking about. This is not the two dudes that's just coming up with an idea and throwing it out there. I said, man, listen, and you got to have an attitude with this reinvention, brother.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have an attitude and say, man, ain't nothing gonna stop me from doing this. And I'm trying to encourage folk out there. So here's a dude that 3 months ago had lost 90% of his business.
Yeah.
But I reinvented, rebranded, totally redid my website.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Today, I got more business than I can handle, man. Bringing in people to subcontract work and things like that. Talk to us about, come on, I know you got some thoughts. But
when you talk about reinventing and rebranding, you know, I can go all the way back to, you know, first of all, you know, and I'm going to get, it ain't really spiritual, but I got to say it from my heart.
Yeah.
I feel that our God is not a one-dimensional. We're not blessed in just one area.
Yeah.
We have multiple talents.
Come on, brother.
Sometimes we will gravitate to one and we'll work that one. And we sometimes forget that there's other facets of us. It's not just one dimension.
That's right.
And people will also try to keep you in that one dimension that you are. Because that's what they like. And I can tell you when you know, in the music industry, every time I talk to somebody, the first thing they come up with is, man, when y'all gonna do another Tootsie? I'm like, listen, you know, and that was great, but that was version 3.0 J.
Yeah.
I'm on version 9.0 J.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by sometimes you have to, and don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for that blessing. It was a blessing, and I still use it, but I have evolved, and I use it in a different way now because that was then. It's like when I first, way back, you know, I'll go back to 1.0 version of J, and I'm gonna call that when I was a breakdancer. Yeah. Now think about it. When I was doing that, I was very good at it. I was known around town for being a good dancer, break dancer. But as times change, I had to reinvent myself. Come on. And it's funny because I see people right now that knew me back then. Yeah. You won't believe the first thing they say is, "Come on, they do that little break dance." I'm like, are you serious? That was then, and don't get me wrong, that was great. But that was that time. It's a time and a place for everything. Yep. I have to reinvent myself, and I'm constantly reinventing myself. And I am going to encourage people out here right now that are listening and watching. I'm going to encourage you to, you know, look at the other areas of your life. You have multiple facets of yourself, and you can't just be stuck in one. You got to evolve, and you got to grow, and constantly reinvent yourself. Companies do it all the time. Products do it all the time. I talk about the iPhone, Darrell. The iPhone 1, there was nothing wrong with it. Why did they have to change the software? Why did they have to change the hardware when nothing was wrong with the phone? Well, you know why? Because they were evolving and they were going with innovation in times, and people wanted different things, so they did different things. And we, as people, have to do the same things. I'm telling you, you have to look at yourself. What's your operating system? Things you did and operated on before, you got to update that. Things are different. You know, I'm not saying change your core. You know, that's bad. I get that. You know, but what I am saying is you got to move with the times. You know, because things are changing, and innovation will not wait on anyone.
And that's where your success is going to come from, Jay. Because you know why you're going to remain fresh? You're going to remain relevant. And so, you know, like one of my mentors quotes, man, I'm a quote man. I love some quotes, man. I love me some quotes. And this is something he says that is a quote I love. He said, "It's a tragedy to be preoccupied with the past at the expense of the future."
Oh, man, love it.
Isn't that powerful, man? Let me say it again for folks. If you're right, because folks may be writing some of this down. It's a tragedy to be preoccupied with the past at the expense of the future. And I'm going to tell you this, bro, and because you know we always bring it live. We up in it. I'm gonna tell people anybody that's preoccupied with the past is gonna get left behind. You're just gonna get left behind, because the true world changers, the world true business successes, industry experts are the ones that's looking at where is the trend going?
Yes.
And how do I position myself to be with that trend? You see what I'm saying? All these people we see that have succeeded over the years, Jay, they caught that, you know what I mean? They caught that, what they call it? They hooked their rowboat up to an ocean liner.
Yeah.
And they said, I'm gonna run with this thing. So, Bill Gates in the early days with technology and Mark Zuckerberg at 16 coming up with Facebook. These people, they didn't look at what was going on then. They looked at where we were going. So reinvention, a lot of it is saying, I'm going to look at where things are going, what skill sets I possess that it will be relevant in that new space that we're going in, and I'm going to work on those things.
Absolutely.
So that what they say, preparation meets opportunity.
Absolutely. And it's not just, and a lot of people think it's just in business. I think personally, and we're going to talk about personal brands and personal branding, but personally, you have to grow. And here's what you got to keep in mind. You don't grow. Now, we might grow older naturally by default, right? You don't grow better and smarter by naturally.
Yeah.
Just because you're getting older don't make you, that's intentional. You have to be intentional about growing and evolving. That takes some work.
Yeah.
And some people think that, well, they're gonna grow and things are gonna change for them and things are gonna get better for them. No, that's intentional. Things are not, on the outside are not just gonna happen for you because you're just existing. You have to be intentional about growth, and that's what it's about. I am constantly rebranding myself personally.
Yeah.
I'm constantly doing it, and I'm excited about it.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited about it. Like I went from dancing to, and then when that was getting a little old, I said, well, let me evolve, and I start DJing, and then I start rapping. Now look, because I was willing to evolve, look what happened. I hit the rap thing, and man, 25 million records later.
There you go.
But if I hadn't been willing, if I wasn't willing to evolve, and I would be still a 53-year-old breakdancer right now.
You probably got skills. You could probably do it, but
Now I don't know who's gonna be watching it, but the whole point is actually it came back around. I would have had to wait 25 years for breakdancing to come back around to catch up with me. I definitely believe that. And hey, if you're out there and if you're listening and if you're happy, completely happy, have no complaints about where you are in your life and what you're doing, then maybe there's no need for you to do any rebranding. I got my opinions of that, but hey, if you're happy and you're like, hey, I don't want anything more, I don't want anything better, I'm good with where I am. There's no need for you to worry about rebranding or reinventing. You just you got what you want and that's it. But I believe that we were not put here on earth. Our existence, I believe, is bigger than one thing. I don't think. I mean, come on. I don't think our God would put us here to do just one thing.
No.
You might have the things that you're passionate about, but there's different levels to that passion. It might be me. I'm still within my creative area.
Yes, you are.
I didn't get out of that. See, to me, breakdancing, DJing, rapping, going into sales, all is creative.
It's all creative.
So I'm still within my purpose. But I'm involved within the purpose.
See, that's an important part of what we're talking about right there. Where we have these individualized giftings. You know what I mean? And some people think, like, it's interesting. I talk to young people, and everybody gonna be the next LeBron James, and everybody gonna be the next, everybody gonna be the next Steph Curry. Everybody. And what I try to tell them is, you're only thinking that because that's what you see. I said, but if you have a gifting, you can use that gifting in multiple areas. It doesn't have to be one thing. You got sports announcers up there doing sports announcing, and you got sports agents doing the agent. If you like sports, why you just got to be an athlete? You can be an agent for 50 years and make more money than athletes make. But the point being, you think I just want to be one thing. You know what I mean? Magic Johnson always said sports was the entry point for him to do all other things he wanted to do because he saw the bigger picture. So when we talk about rebranding and we talk about reinvention, we got to start realizing something you just said. And that is, we have multiple skill sets that we have obtained through a lifetime of experience.
Yes.
Okay. Through a lifetime of experience. But society, our friends, our family, sometimes even our parents put us in a lane. And we spend our whole life trying to be identified by that one lane. And sometimes we can even be miserable, you know what I mean, being in that lane, knowing there's other things we can do. So what we're going to be talking about today is just people to get a cognitive awareness that you are multidimensional, man. You are not a one lane. You said an old saying, you're not a one trick pony.
Absolutely.
You are not a one trick pony.
You have multiple skill sets, multiple blessings, and sometimes they're not always evident. They're not clear. You don't clearly see them. But I think if you step back for a minute and say, okay, let me look at this, because if you're doing something and if it's not, it's not bearing fruit, you can move on.
Yep.
You got to move on. And some people will continue forever and ever, and then complain when other people don't come along. Well, they're off that. They've moved off of that.
Yep.
They're not on that anymore. That's why when people tell me, Jay, you need to come back out, I'm like, listen, they're a young artist right now. It's their time.
Yeah.
I've evolved now. I use my music in my speaking and my coaching, but I had to evolve. You know what I'm saying? I had to reinvent myself.
Yeah.
Instead of staying right there trying to make records, I'm still trying to hit records and make records where these kids out here, it's their time,
But Jay,
there was artists that moved out the way from me. Moved there. Earth, Wind and Fire, the OJs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure they would have wanted to keep making records. Now they're still working older records, but my whole point is you got to make room and you got to evolve. But look, there's something greater on the other side if you're just open.
You got to be open.
You got to be open to it.
You got to be open. To be honest with you, man, you got to be brand new. Could you give me a little taste of that one more time, brother? See, we got to be brand new. This Jay just made this, y'all. Check it out.
Hold on 1 second. I got to pull it back up, man.
You got to pull it back up? Oh,
I wake up to it, man. I'm like,
see, y'all got to hear this, because this is what it's all about, man. Break it down, brother. Come on. Y'all can join the party if you want.
Yeah.
Brand new. Listen to the word. Listen to the word.
Check it out. If things ain't been going your way, don't be so quick to give up. Sometimes all you gotta do is switch it up. If you want something different, you gotta do something different. It's time to rebrand yourself.
Come on, sing it with me. Brand new. It's all brand new.
Brand new. All brand new.
Brand new. All brand new.
Come on, everybody let me hear that.
Brand new. Reinvent.
Brand new.
Rebrand. Reinvent.
Come on. Here we go. I got a new attitude now. All brand new. Had to rearrange things. All brand new. Brand new. I'm a life brand new. I'm stuck now, feeling all brand new. Attitude now. All brand new. Rearrange things.
All brand new.
Brand new. I'm a life
All brand new.
I'm stuck now, feeling
All brand new.
You know what the definition of insanity is, right? It's when you're doing the same old things and expecting a different outcome. Nah, that's crazy. And it don't work that way. You see, growth requires constant change. You gotta be forward thinking and open to the idea of reinventing yourself. Come on. Now, let me go ahead and warn you. Everybody's not gonna like this new you. You might have to cut some people off temporarily, and you might have to cut some people off permanently. It all starts with a new attitude. New talk, new walk, new you. It's a brand new game, new rules. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Break it down. Brand new. All brand new. Yeah, boy. I'll tell you, that's gonna be a hit, Doc.
Hey, man. but here's the point. Think about this.
Yeah.
Even with me doing, because that's my love, right? I love being creative and making music.
Yeah.
Now I've reinvented myself and I've rebranded myself, and now I'm doing it through teaching and motivating.
Yep.
That's what we mean by reinventing. This is a different version of Jay now.
Yep.
It's still music. I'm still within my gift and my purpose, right? My calling, but I've evolved within it. And that's what I want to encourage everyone to do that.
Yeah.
You gotta evolve. And some people don't know how to do it. And Darrell, you said it earlier, there's no way we can sit on here in an hour and go over this. This thing is really deep, But what we wanted to do is come on one and encourage everybody that where you are right now is not where you have to be. Sometimes you're where you are. If you're not happy with where you are, sometimes you're there because you are not, you're not looking at the big picture, and you've allowed yourself and other people to put you in a space and a lane, like you said. They're trying to keep you in that lane. And like I said, there's multiple dimensions to you. There's multiple areas of your life. And even within your calling, you have to reinvent yourself, and you have to rebrand yourself, and you have to be the best version of yourself for now. See, that old version worked for back then. It was great then, right? Right now, you need to rebrand yourself and show everyone and introduce everyone to the new version of you. And here's what's amazing. When you change and update your version, people will treat you for the version you are.
There it is.
The version you were.
That's it.
If you feel like you're not getting opportunities on the job, well, maybe it's because you that old version. They're looking for new version. That's why they hire people with new skill sets. They're like, well, you're that one trick pony. Like you said, Darrell. You're looking for that next thing. They're looking for that new thing. And you know what? You got to be willing to do that. And it's okay to reinvent yourself and rebrand yourself. And again, I know some people might say, well, how do you do that? How do you search and find, what's the process of reinventing, branding, repositioning? It's funny because this song came out, Lil Duval, he's from Jacksonville, and he had Living My Best Life, and everybody loved that song, right? They say they were living their best life. Yeah. It's great. But here's what I'm saying. Were you just singing the song, or were you really evolving and living your best life out here? Because there's more to you than just one or two areas, So I'm going to encourage people to do that. And Darrell, let's talk about, and maybe you can lead here. Let's talk about some of the processes of starting to figure out how to rebrand and reinvent. I know you're really big on reinvention.
Yeah. Well, and I want you to share your book too. I mean, I wrote this book 8 years ago, Reinvention, the Pathway to Job Search Success. I've been talking about this stuff for a long time. And I think it's important to share this because one thing I said in the beginning of this, we're not fly by nights. we didn't just show up on the planet and say, "Ooh, great idea, let's jump on it." That's fine. I ain't mad at nobody for going after dreams and goals, but we've been at this a long time. I think the big thing, Jay, is when people start to think about reinvention, and I'll talk about reinvention. Maybe you can talk about rebranding.
Okay.
But reinvention, the first place it starts is with two things, man. It starts with introspection and mindset. Mindset, because we have got to really start to look at what we've been doing, what we've done. Let's say from a career or business perspective, and if we've not changed, why do we continue to stay there? Like, what is it about being stuck in that spot that is maybe even somewhat appealing to us? Now, let me share a few things. I'm not going to go into the details.
Okay.
You can't fall in, this is going to sound weird, man, but you can't fall in love with yourself like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't drink the Kool-Aid, man. You get so caught up, you know what I mean? You get so caught up in how people perceive you, and you got this name and this brand, and you walk around with your chest up, and like the Coach D brand. I can walk around like, yo, Coach D, and people know me all over the world, and I've been on stages in front of Walmart and big corporations and big state governments and organizations. So you say Coach D is doing this, and people send you emails and all that kind of stuff, and you get caught up, and then next thing you know, you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And so you start thinking, that's who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm Coach D. I'm the keynoter. I'm the, get me the big stage. And then guess what? COVID hits.
Yeah.
And you all caught up in that identity.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh, I ain't on that big stage no more.
Yeah.
I'm not flying to this country or that place. I'm sitting in my house.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to tell people that don't get so caught up. This is one thing about reinvention. Don't get so caught up in what you were. This is important, Jay. Get excited about what you're going to become.
Yes.
Don't get caught up into that, man. Say, oh, wow. Like my mentor said, Miles Monroe, he said, man, crisis, opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the Japanese version. Oh, opportunity. So now, so you got to go into the mindset. And then here's another thing with mindset too. I'm just going to the early stages of reinvention.
Okay.
You got to go inside and ask yourself the question, what mental barriers have I established, imposed, self-imposed or external imposed, that will keep me locked into doing things the way I've always done them for a variety of reasons. I just mentioned one, the acceptance of others, you know? And so a lot of reinvention, the process itself, the infancy stages, entry point of it is mindset. It's your mindset, man, because we become programmed by our actions, our behaviors, and our acceptances. So if we start to think something and we start to own it, then in our minds, we think that's who we are. But great organizations and great people always thinking not who they are, but what they're going to become.
Yes.
They're kind of uncomfortable with staying in a spot. They're like, what can I do to become that next thing or that next phase of my life? Not that they're antsy or always trying to jump the gun, but they're thinking forward. So for people who are trying to reinvent, I'm just going to share this one piece for now, Jay. You got to become introspective. You got to go into your mindset and say, what will hinder me from it? And then, then you got to say to yourself, what do I need to change to be open to the new? What do I internally have to change to be open to the new? Because this is why this is important. People have heard me talk about brain set over and over again on these calls. Because brain set gets a little frustrated when you try to change.
Yeah.
That brain set is saying, ho. No, I'm not feeling this, man. No, this is who we've been for years. What you talk about? No, partner. We're not going that. See, mindset we can shift, but brain set is saying no. So what I'm trying to tell folks, that's why we got to become introspective. We got to develop these plans of actions, and we got to force ourselves out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I talked about earlier in one of these events I did earlier. We got to blow the box up. And we got to have a whole new perspective on not what other people think about us, but who we are.
Yes.
And what talents do we bring to the table? What multiple skill sets do I possess that could be a contribution to society? So what you do with the brain set and the mindset piece, the introspection piece, now you kind of move those things out the way. Then you can start to open up to the endless possibilities that you possess to start a new business, to take a new job position, to write a book that you said you've been writing 25 years ago and never wrote, and all these things. But if you keep blocking yourself, we'll be revisiting this conversation a year from now. So I just want to at that one point, Jay, and you can chime in on the rebranding, but we'll give maybe one more before we get off the call, but it starts with your mindset.
Yeah.
If you're unemployed right now, stop longing for that next HR position. Stop longing for that next, general manager position, because it might not exist.
Yeah.
What are some other things that you can do? What are some other things that you possess? One of my neighbors, man, he was an engineer, got laid off, and he always liked tinkering cars. Now he owns a car shop and making more money than he was when he was an engineer.
Yeah, there you go.
Because why? He didn't sit there and say, oh, I'm an engineer, I can't work on automobiles. Man, he took that because he loved working on automobiles. Now he owns his own automobile shop. So what I'm saying is we got to move all that other stuff out the way, become introspective, and start opening our mind up to the endless possibilities that you alluded to. We're not just one dimensional. We're multi-dimensional. Yeah.
So the other thing, Darrell, is that I think what happens is one of two things. Either you are afraid of your own greatness, which I think there's greatness in everyone. I did a post one time and I put everyone has greatness in them. I truly believe that. And sometimes you're either afraid of that or you're unaware of it. And I think that the first thing I just want to tell people is that you need to first understand that you have greatness. You're great. You have a lot of greatness in you. And you need to definitely understand that, own that, and believe that, because it's the truth. No one has a monopoly on greatness. No one has a monopoly on blessings. Everyone, we're all, we have that. Sometimes we have some hurdles, but that's okay. We'll get over those hurdles. So that's the thing. But I will say, when it comes to branding, there's two areas of branding. There's personal brands and there's personal branding. And the difference in that is a lot of people are like, well, what's the difference between personal brand and branding. Well, a personal brand, that's who you are. That's what your makeup. And you hear me talk about rebranding and going to new versions of that. But regardless of if you like, if it's a good one or not, everyone has a personal brand. Everyone has what their brand.
One way or the other.
You can, and the good news is you can always, like I said, update, reinvent that brand. You should, and I would encourage you to constantly reinvent that brand. But everyone has a personal brand. Then there's personal branding. Personal branding is how you promote that person we just talked about.
Come on now.
What people outside of you, what everyone else thinks of you, or how they view you, that's the branding. And, you know, I think it's important that we, one, understand our personal brand, and two, understand what the message that we're relaying to people. Because people treat us exactly how we want to be treated. I always said that. You know, you teach people how to treat you. I'll just say that.
Yeah, you do.
You teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
And some people, you know, you can't demand respect. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
And I say that because just because you stand up and think that somebody should respect you, well, that's not being realistic in my opinion. I get it. You feel like you're going to respect me. You can say that a million times, but that don't mean anyone will actually do it.
Yeah.
If it really matters to you and you want the respect of that person, then you got to be willing to put a little work in to earn that respect. Anyway, I wanted to share that branding and a brand is two separate things. Within the book that I have, and I'm still working on, I'm just about done with the book, but I talk about all the layers of that because it takes some real honesty, self-reflection and honesty to start looking at it. It's easy to critique everyone else. It's real difficult to do that with yourself. And that's where it starts. You have to really look at it and say, okay, what is it that I'm putting out here? What is my brand, first of all? And how am I perceived? How am I marketing that brand? You do that, now we can, once you understand that, we can go through the process of rebranding, reworking, reinventing, repositioning.
Yep.
We can do that, but you have to first understand that. So I would challenge everyone out there to really say, to just reflect on that. What is my brand? What is my brand? Not what someone else thinks, because that's your branding. You need to yourself, what is my brand? Like me, what is my brand? I feel like my brand, I feel like I know what my brand is. I think my brand is a very helpful. I believe in helping. You know, I believe in serving. You know, I think we were all born to serve. I just believe that. That's part of my brand. And my branding actually aligns with that because that's what I try to put out into the world, that I am someone that wants to serve, help, you know, teach, grow people. So my brand and my personal branding aligns. I think you just got to really figure it out. And again, I get more detailed, and I offer steps within the book that'll help you. Yeah. Because you'll be amazed when you do this. When you actually start to figure this out, and you start to understand that, you know, I talk a lot about emotional intelligence in the book. When you understand that what you do and how what you do affects the emotions of other people, and when you learn that is a huge plus when you can understand emotional intelligence. And I'll tell you, I was having a conversation with a friend, and we talked about this. And I just think today a lot of young people, not all, but a lot of young people, they lack emotional intelligence. And because of that, it's hard for them to navigate through this ever-changing world, because they don't understand that what they do and how it affects others. And they can actually, you know, you can add fire to something, or you can add water to it based on you.
Yeah.
You can have power.
You know, Jay, I think what you're saying is an important point too. And I think it's not just young people, the adults need to hear that too, because every time you start to make cultural shifts towards something that become norm, even if it's negative, you know, every cultural shift, and when I say cultural shift, like that's just way how the masses do things. Those shifts, if it's producing something that's not so positive, on the flip side of that, it creates positive opportunities for people who are willing to go against the grain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of, for instance, on the job market, a lot I interact with a lot of employers because I do training in workforce development and jobs, all these different things for these organizations, and they're looking for people with good character.
Yeah.
They're looking for people that's dependable. They're looking for people that's respectful. And when they find them, not only will they hire them, they're going to promote them.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
going to give them opportunities.
Absolutely.
They're going to keep them right. But because it's so rare. People go on the job and just complain and talk about the boss and talk, and they get with that clique of people that think they feel good about. They just kind of acknowledging each other in their negativity, and they get mad at that person over there that keeps getting all them promotions.
Absolutely.
Because that person not running with them.
Absolutely.
You see, so I look at it as, and I share with young people because I work with young people, man, and I tell them, you have a golden opportunity now. You know what I mean? You have a golden opportunity if you show character, if you show good work ethic. All these things are gold mines as far as opportunity. Like even if you're reinventing yourself, guess what? If you reinvent yourself with excellence, if you reinvent yourself with a good work ethic, man, I'm telling you right now, doors will swing open. Let me tell you a quick story, man. It's the most amazing thing you ever hear. So my wife, and I got married, my wife, Pam. My wife was a systems engineer at a nuclear facility. So I jokingly tell people I married a nuclear engineer, man. Yeah. She's light me up every time I see her, man. Just a light. She was a light of my eyes. So, but when we got married, right before we got married, she used to work for this nuclear facility, and they did this big, massive layoff. And so instead of going into like looking for another career in engineering, she said, I'm gonna take a break and pause, and I'm gonna take a job, doing something sort of entry level. You know what I mean? Not necessarily worrying too much about the career and all that. So she took a job in customer service at this college access company, a big one. And so, but see, what you had, this is what I mean by who you are and the excellence that you bring to the table. In that position, she matched that position. She was like customer service on steroids, man. Folks loved her there. She was rocking and she put systems in place, and so much to the point that the president of the company came out and said, wait a minute, who are you? And she told him, she said, well, he said, you're different. You see, this is what I just said a few moments ago, how that character and work ethic opens up doors. And so she said, you're different. And she said, tell me about yourself. And then she told me I have a degree in engineering and I took this job and, as a layoff and this and that. He said, I knew it was something. I said, I could tell it was something about you. And so here's the deal. I want to make this long story short. He said, you're doing such a great job. What do you see around here that we need? Now, this is about 400 or 500 employees. And she said, well, one thing I see that's missing is that you guys could maybe focus a little bit on total quality management, like systems with TQM, to make sure that there's continuity in the way you'll deliver things. See, that door wouldn't have opened if she wasn't operating with excellence. So he said, well, what are your thoughts on that? She said, well, I never really thought about it much. He said, could you put together a proposal?
There you go.
Now, let's keep in mind, she's a customer service rep.
Yeah.
But check this out, Jay. And so she comes home and she tells me, well, the president wants me to put together this plan of action for total quality management. I said, well, let's do it. So we sat down and we strategized and came up with the strategy. She took it back to him, presented it to him. He looked at it, said, looks nice. Didn't see anything for 3 weeks. And then I told her, I said, don't worry about it. He's checking it out. He took that document to his board, okay, and shared it with his board. Came back to her after that 3-week period, said, can you meet me in my office? She said, sure. When his office, he said, I don't know if this is something you'd be interested in, but we'd like to offer you the position of director of total quality management.
Man, look at that. Yeah, see that? Here it is.
Over the entire company.
Yeah.
And we came back and said to me, what do you think? I said, take the job.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. See, so let me just say this, Jay, and I know you got something you want to share.
Yeah.
Reinvention also in rebranding needs to be conjoined with excellence.
Absolutely.
With quality of delivery of the way that I do things. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when you can conjoin those two, man, even if you don't have the experience, this is important. people will still open up doors of opportunity to us. Talk to me, brother, because I mean that's something right there.
And I love everything. I love everything you're saying, and I love that story because that is a story of, understanding that there's other areas you don't know where they're going to lead. You just have to trust that you have to know that you have greatness. And I would encourage everybody to do this. I'm going to tell you, when I look in the mirror, let me tell you what I see when I look in the mirror. See, I can sit here on this live and tell you guys that you're great. You have greatness in you. I can tell you that all day long. You have to really, really know that. And I encourage you to find that out and understand that. And I said this one time and my son laughed at me, but I said, do you know the very first race you won? You know that you have extreme greatness. When you were conceived, you were racing against millions of your little brothers and sisters. You were racing and you won. You won. There was plenty of your little brothers and sisters trying to get there. You won.
They try to bump you off too.
You have so much greatness in you. And I look right in this camera and I'll tell you, you have to know that. I know it. You got to know it for yourself that you have greatness. You have allowed people to tell you what you are, tell you what you can do, tell you what you can't do, and you're believing that story. It's time to get rid of that. That's their story. That's their idea. Their words cannot define you. That's their words. You have to know who you are, whose you are, and that you are great. And you know what? There's nothing. I don't care if you're 53 like me, or if you're 33 or 83. It's not over till it's over, and you have so much in you. And I'm gonna tell you, I will be reinventing myself until the lights go out.
Same here. Same here.
I will be on version 45.5 or whatever, but I will be reinventing myself. You're gonna be like, man, that's the same guy. I remember Jay was talking about he was gonna be he's a speaker and a coach. And now he's 73, and now he's talking about he done invented some product. He's an inventor.
But that makes life exciting, man.
It does.
Listen, that makes life exciting. Why do I want to be a one-trick pony, man? Why do I want, you know what I mean? It's like it's so much meaning and significance, man. And like you talk about serving, and like Zig Ziglar was one of my early heroes and mentors. The beauty if I had a chance to interact with him multiple times. And he said, you get everything in life you want when you help other people get what they want.
Absolutely.
And it's like when you live your life in this mode, it's amazing the doors of opportunities that open themselves for you. But like you're saying, you got to first see it in yourself. And you got to be open to start seeing the vast possibilities out here, man, through reinvention and a lot of it starts with reimagining yourself. You know what I mean? Reimagining. And sometimes, man, that's like, you know what I mean? Doing like when I got here, a vision board, man, just, getting a vision board and popping stuff up on the vision board. You're not there yet, but you put it up there and you look at it every day and say, man, this is where I'm going.
And you know what I mean? We've taken so many blows that sometimes we get beat down. I get it. Don't think for 1 minute that, you guys know the end of a lot of the things that I've done, like the music. But if I could tell you about the thousands of blows that we took trying to get to it. So I get that. I know you're tired. You've been beat down on the job. You've been beat down in relationships. You try to, but I'm going to encourage you to keep going because, 3 feet from gold, you're right there. I'm telling you, it's right there. You just got to keep on, and you got to believe that greatness, you were born. It's your birthright. It's your birthright. You cannot ever let anyone take that from you. And once you realize that, and you get up and you're like, you know what? I am born into greatness. You'll go and you'll do what you said. You'll start operating in the greatness and excellence, and you'll start saying, well, just because I've always done this, don't mean I've always got to do it. I know I went to school for this, but that don't mean I have to do that. There's other areas of me. I'm multifaceted. Maybe I'll write a book, and a book book might lead to speaking, and that speaking might lead to somebody doing a movie, and all of a sudden now, there's a whole nother area that you never ever thought was there. And I know you may not know it, and again, I will continue to always encourage you guys. There's greatness in you. I'm telling you, there's so much there, and you don't leave it on the table, man. Don't take it to the grave, as people say.
That's it.
There's a lot.
Well, I got to hit him with Miles's quote, brother, where he says, he said the greatest discoveries on our planet are not found in the oil wells of Saudi Arabia or the diamond mines of South Africa. The greatest deposits on our planet are found in your local cemetery.
Yes.
In there, you got books that were never written.
Yes.
Songs that were never sung. Artwork that never made it off the mind of the originator. In that graveyard, you got potential that remained potential.
Yes.
And brother, I'm telling you right now, that's not a scary statement. That's a wake-up call. You have to be nervous about it because we all got a destiny. But to know that when I lay this head down, I tell you all the time, if I laid it down tomorrow, I've done some things. We've impacted some lives, man. We've written some books and we've transformed, and our kids are doing some great things. So I'm not saying that I'm not, and I'm not saying that I have arrived. But what I'm saying is I've never lived my life in a realm of comfortability, thinking that I've arrived, man, and I'm, no, man, reinventing, writing new books, doing new things, man. Why? Because one thing it does is it keeps life fresh and it keeps it exciting and things like that. So what you and I are talking about, this whole concept is exciting, man. And I want people to get excited about it. I like this one quote here. I don't know who the name is, that Facebook user. It said, we have to stop believing the lies of impossibilities and see greatness in who and whose we are. You see, and Vic was saying a little earlier, Vic Cade, he was talking about how he said but this whole thing of COVID and how he can't let that stop him from pursuing things. And he talking about how he has to reinvent himself, man, and do some things. So what we're stirring up here, brother, is we're stirring up, man. And my hope is we're going to stir up almost like a revolution towards people who are saying, I want to go, I want, you can put your name in that slot, Frederick 2.0 or Rachel 2.0 or Sammy 2.0 or Hamill 2.0. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at Bernice 2.0.
Update that software, update the software.
Yeah.
You can update the hardware, which is the outside. We'll go buy new clothes.
Yeah.
Update the software.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to do that. And something real quick, I know, and I talk about this within my book, there's a few things that stop people from doing this, and it's fear. And we've talked about that.
Big time.
Knowledge, which, people don't think they have, they don't know what to do.
Yep.
And then there's money. A lot of times people think, well, it takes money to do that. Let me tell you, it's amazing. If you just get started, the world, and I said this before in a live, once you get the momentum going, things will start to open up.
Oh, man, the doors will swing.
It's like that. The universe is fine.
It's going to pull it your way, man.
It'll get out of the way. You'll be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You got to get the momentum going.
Yeah.
You'll notice that things will start opening. It's something about it. It has that glass. That glass will shatter. That glass.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something, Jay, man. I'm a story man, so I always tell stories. But I've been so blessed in my career to meet some of the most amazing people, man. I mean, and you have as well. I see some of your pictures. I mean, you on stage with Oprah. I mean, you met all kinds of people, so you know what I'm talking about. But when you meet people, you hear stories. You know what I mean? And I remember meeting this guy that a lot of people don't know him, but they know of his company. A guy named Richard Lovett. And Richard Lovett is the president and CEO of Creative Artists Agency. So all of in the agency, creative, who they are. They're huge, and everybody want to get with them. So one of my mentors, Bill Milliken, got me a personal meeting with him. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, I was trying to do a talk show, and I said, I got to get some connections in Hollywood. So Bill made a phone. That's why I always tell people, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Bill gets on the phone, and next week I'm flying to Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm in this call, man. I'm in this meeting with him and his secretary at the Beverly Hills Hilton. And he had to be snuck in because everybody trying to connect with him. So he can't come through the front door. He had to come through the back door. And we had a private meeting in the back. But I'm always big on stories. I said, so Mr. Lovett, tell me your story. I said, how did you end up here? And he started telling me. He said, well, check this out. This talks about what we're talking about. He said, well, I always knew I wanted to work here. I knew this is the company I wanted to work with. But check this out, Jay. Now, this is crazy what I'm about to say. And that's what I want to tell people is it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And sometimes you may have to take 2 steps forward to go 20 steps ahead. Yeah. But you got to, like Jay said earlier, it's what you want. What do you want? You got to know what you want. He knew he wanted to grow within this company. So he had a law degree. They weren't hiring except for one place. You want to know where that was, Jay? Okay. The mailroom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They were hiring in the mailroom. Dude applied and got the job. But check out what he was thinking. Man, in the mailroom, you're going to give mail to the president. You're going to give mail to the vice president. You're going to give mail to... So he in there, man, he mailing it. And now he getting to all the senior executives, okay? Yeah. Then the opening for an agent presented itself, and he has the law degree. And they're like, man, we need an agent. Next you know, he gets the agent, but he now has the relationships. So promotion opportunity, and next you know, he running this $40 billion company.
Yeah, there you go.
So a lot of people will say, I ain't working in no mail room. He said, good, I'll take the job. Yeah. And now I'm running the company. So what I'm not trying to tell people is, when we talk about reinvention, we're not saying you're going to reinvent and go off and be the president of a corporation. Sometimes with reinvention and rebranding, you may take a few steps back so that you can even gain some more newfound experiences. But the key is, this is important. I think you would agree with me, brother. It's taking you down a new direction, a new pathway of opportunities that you may not have gotten if you wouldn't have reinvented and rebranded yourself. I love stories like that. It shows what's possible.
And like you said, taking that step back is like if you were to walk up to something you need to jump, you got to jump over it. What's the first thing you do? You back up.
Back up. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, you go.
There you go. So like you're right. Sometimes you have to step back and see it for what it is. If you're right up on it, it looks insurmountable sometimes.
Yeah, man.
But when you back up, you're like, okay, I see what's going on. You can survey with everything, and then you can attack it. So, man, I love this. And like I said, I know people, a lot of times I talk to people, they want to know, we're talking about a lot about we're talking about a lot about what to do.
Yeah.
We're going to get together, and you and I had talked about putting something together so we can actually start walking people through this process. 1, 2, 3. This is what you have to do so you can, we touched on some of the things, but we actually can even go even more in depth on, how do you do that? Yep. How do you understand and cultivate that greatness in you? There's steps to doing that. So I look forward to furthering this conversation and this thing about branding. And like I said, I'm so excited because all I ever do is rebrand, and I keep doing it, and I keep doing it, and I will always do it.
Yep.
I get excited about it. I love it.
Yep.
I know that there's so much more out there for me, and I'm just excited about the next chapter. And
let me say this, and I thanks for sharing that, because I just want to give people paint a picture of what we're talking about here. So Jay and I have known each other for a while now, and our good friend Victor Cade introduced us. I'm grateful for Vic, and I went to Cheney University together, and and I think from the moment we talked the first time, we hit it off. It's just like it's like some people, it's like you get in the field, but man, we just kind of, because we both are passionate about what we do. So that passion met passion. We said, yeah, man, there's something here. But what Jay and I are going to be doing, that's want to let everybody know. That's why I put my email address in there. If you're interested in learning more, we're looking at doing virtual summits. We're looking at doing virtual courses and webinars. We're also looking at if you're an organization or even a state agency, that we can come in and customize an event around reinvention and rebranding. Now, why is that important right now? Because even though the job numbers are decreasing, there's still close to 20 million people that don't have a job. Yeah. 20 million people. And you know what a lot of those people are waiting for? The next job in the same job they had before. And for some folks, I just want to let you know that ain't gonna work no more. Yeah. That's not gonna work no more. You know what I mean? So either you're gonna need to be willing to invest in yourself, or you can get with an organization that's making investment dollars into workforce development, and maybe they can, work with somebody like us. And again, we can do workshops or trainings. I'm already doing a plethora of trainings now in workforce development. as a result of, what happened with COVID and everybody shifted and went virtual. But what we're talking about is this area, like in the professional realm, is called displaced workers, are people that's trying to find that new lane in life. We're going to create some systems and some some self-paced courses. So Jay and we got a lot of work to do. We're just going to slowly build all this out. Probably we'll start with just webinars because that's low hanging fruit and easy. We can do a webinar, but when we do it, we want you to come on there and be a part of it, because here's the thing. We're not talking about just being a one-hit wonder. We're going to take people on journeys. So it may be a webinar series where we're looking at each different aspects of rebranding and different aspects of reinvention, because they almost go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And so his expertise is rebranding. Mine is reinvention. So we're going to marry the two and put some systems together. But I want to let y'all know about that, because if you work for an organization in workforce development and you need this type of training, today we just kind of shared some things more from a motivational perspective, but we are content rich experts.
Absolutely.
We got some stuff that we can break some stuff down. I'm training in Dallas or somewhere. I can't remember how many people, but all these dislocated place workers in Dallas, because there's a lot of people lost their job. And so organization down there contacted us, and we're going to be training all these dislocated over the next 2 or 3 months. We're going to be looking at doing some stuff, but that's because there's a need. And so Jay and I are putting these systems together. So hit me up with an email, and Jay, put your email in there too, on your website, so people can know. If you put in one of the social media, if you want to hit Jay up, you want some more information from him, this is his information coming forward. But the most important thing I want you all to know from what we're trying to do today, and I hope as you heard our hearts, because both of us care about people, and that's a common factor that we have. We care, is that you have to take control of your future. You have got to take control of your future. You see what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is simply this, that nobody's going to knock on your door and say, here's an opportunity.
No.
You know what I mean? Nobody's going to pick up your phone and call you and say, hey, I was thinking about you today. Here's an opportunity. Unless you have some friends that do that.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and you got to get it.
Yeah, you got to create them.
You got to get it, man. You got to go get this thing. You got to say, here are several things that I possess. One thing we didn't talk about tonight, because we didn't go much into strategies, was transferable skill sets. That's a reinvention thing.
Yes.
Because we all got these transferable skill sets that we've learned through work, through experience, or life. Just remember that. Through work, experience, and life. My neighbor did not work in a job with car. Life and experience taught him that. Next thing you know, he owned in the shop.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then a lot of that, I know a young boy that was a friend of ours. I mean, he probably making more money than adults detailing cars.
Yeah.
He said, I ain't trying to work at no Chick-fil-A. I got to make $80 an hour detailing the car.
Yeah.
And now he has a young fella with a detail. But that's a skill set he possessed. There's so many ways. And what we want to do is expose people to a new way of thinking through this reinvention and rebranding process. So my friend, thank you for that, man. And thank you for your insights. Do you have any closing thoughts? Because I just thought everything,
I like what you're saying. I just want people to understand that, there is strategy behind it. You heard a lot of motivation tonight, because the first part, you have to understand that you have greatness, and that is the first step. But once you understand that, then you're open to the strategies that Darrell and I will share, because it didn't happen because I motivated myself to do it. No, I got motivated to do the strategies and the work and the processes it took to be successful.
There it is.
But I don't want anyone to not get that there's real strategies and there's steps that you have to take. And that's what we want to share with you, because once you have those strategies, you can repeat it over and over again. That's why I've been blessed enough to be successful in almost every area that I actually wanted to be successful in. I followed the formula. It's like a formula for making records. We were able to be successful over and over again because we followed a formula. But we had to first get motivated enough and understand that we possess greatness to make records that could sell 25 million copies.
Come on now.
We understood that we had that greatness in us. Now we learned the process, and it was done. It was over. And that's what we want to share with you. And I can't wait to share with you the actual process into making this happen.
Let me tell you something. So get ready. So probably within the next week or so, 2 weeks, we're going to come back and share with you We'll set the webinars up. We're gonna go with that first, and then like I said, if you work for an agency, I do like to recognize people when they say things. Lily Garcia said, "Thank you so much for the valuable information. I took a lot of notes, plenty of notes, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Lily. I always appreciate when people appreciate what we do, don't you, Jay? That's like,
Absolutely.
we both family, man. We got time, but we take the time to do this because we do care, and so I hope that you all out there appreciate this. You know what I mean? We both have, experts. We're involved. We're working. We put time in. But here at 8 o'clock at night, you know what I mean? And Hamill said thank you. CC said thank you for Jay to the group. Yeah, thanks for bringing Jay. Jay is powerful, CC. CC's involved with our workforce development motivation that we do every Monday. And so she said thank you for bringing you to I'm telling you, Jay's a powerful. We got to get Jay on that Monday morning thing, too, because what he's sharing now, I would like for him to share with our group. We got a powerful group that meets every Monday, Jay. So we're going to see if we get you on there as well. But I do want to let you all know what we're building is systems. So the motivation will be in woven within. Somebody said thank you. We got a bunch of thank yous popping up here, Jay.
Yeah, awesome.
You know what I mean? Eva said thank you. But what we're going to build is process. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Well, yeah. Okay. All right. So Lapina says she's in the Zoom meeting under Lapina. Thank you. Renee, say thank y'all for these thank yous. This means a lot. It really does.
Absolutely.
But we're just getting started. Now let me understand. I hope you understand what we're talking about here. And I know Jay is so modest that he doesn't talk about this too much, but I think you need to hear it. Here's a man that came up with an idea, and sold over 25 million albums. Let me tell you, most folks don't have access to have conversations with people like him. You know what I mean? You just don't. I'm just going to be honest with you. You just don't, because folks don't typically make the time because they're doing all kinds of things. They're busy, whatever. But he said, no, I want to make a difference here. And I'm honored that we're able to connect and do this together. And so I'm just saying to you, see the value in what we have here. This is value. And so we're going to be bringing some things to the table. We're going to be bringing I'm going to ask those of you who believe in what we're talking about, sell it to folks. Tell them, man, these guys doing this webinar, you need to be a part of this. If you got a friend that's been struggling, or organization that got a bunch of people that can't find employment or whatever, or a young person you think could benefit, pay for them and bless for them to go to these seminars and webinars. But I'm telling you what I'm doing with him is I'm approaching state governments. I want to do statewide summits where we may spend a half a day motivation and then training.
Yes.
So that all these dislocated workers can hear from real world people who can inspire them, but also give them rich content. So more to come with this.
Yes.
More to come with this. And so, Jay and I, we found a good lane with this together. We've talked about things for a while, and when he started hitting the rebranding, and I'm doing the reinvention, I said, "Oh, brother, that's it right there." But I just want to let y'all know how honored I am to sit here with this man and say, we're going to do this together. We're going to impact a lot of lives, and I'm looking forward to it. So more to come. We're patient, so we're not looking, for this thing to be overnight thing, but we're going to just keep putting the information out there. We're going, and realistically, it's all about changing lives. So, yes. Jay, thank you, my man. Thank you for the night.
I appreciate you. Putting all this together, because you called me up and you putting this together, and I cannot wait to share what the processes that it actually took to sell that amount of records and to maneuver in that industry, coming from the hood.
Yeah.
That was all about strategy.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. If you think that Tootsie Roll and whoop, there it is, and come on, ride the train. If you think that was about talent, listen, that was about strategy.
Come on, man. Talk to him.
About talent. I'm not saying I don't have talent, but I have about as much talent as the next person.
Yeah.
But I will tell you what I do possess is the ability to find a process and a strategy and to rework it and work it and rework it and make it work for me. And that's what I can't wait to share. The strategy it took to sell millions and millions of records under extreme resistance is all I'll tell you.
Come on now. Come
extreme,
on. But you made it happen. Brother.
Work through strategies and do that. And that's what it was about.
Yeah. We just got to play the ultimate compliment. Vic Cade said, "Good job, guys." We got a compliment from Vic, so we must have done all right, man. That's our dude right there. So
I appreciate everybody. I shared this on my my Facebook. I appreciate everybody. If anybody has any questions, you go ahead and put them up there. If we don't answer them, I know we're about to end this now, but I love when people chime in because trust me, like Darrell said, he's busy, I'm busy, but we really, I got so much that I want to share and teach people because, I just want to push people to greatness, man, because you have it. I'm not responsible for it. I just want to reveal it and show it to you so you can go out and change the world, man.
I'll tell you something. One of the most valuable things I learned growing up in the world of business and even in my corporate days is you want to connect with people who have gone through processes. You want to connect with people who have done things, and you don't want to be a nuisance to that person. You don't want to be overwhelming, but you want to learn.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just want to learn. I've shared many times about one of my early mentors, Earl Stafford, who built his company up, Unitech, to $500 million and sold it to Lockheed Martin. And I didn't have a lot of time with him, Jay, but the little time I had with him, it lines itself with what you said, because he said to me, the greatest piece of advice he told me was, don't fall in love with the dream, fall in love with the process.
Yes.
he said, everybody out here can talk about a dream. He said, but the process people ultimately, listen to this, Jay, you see their dream.
Yes.
They don't even have to talk about it. You see it. We see that you sold 25 million albums. We see.
And that's why I don't talk about it, because to me, that's an easy fact. You can see it.
You can see it. You can see it.
The real question is, Jay, how did you do that?
Yeah.
What was the process? What was the strategy? Well, how did you maneuver when you got those no's? How did you go around that? Yeah. That's what I can't wait to share.
Oh man, we're gonna kick it. And I'm telling you, I'm hyper speeding this because right now, with so many people out here trying to find employment and find meaning, I'm well positioned in workforce development. We want to position ourselves even outside of that realm in government and community, and to be a voice for this subject, because we have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of insight. And now, instead of just kind of, bottom line is we're going to take this to the masses, and we're going to see how many lives we can impact. So as we put information out, I would hope that you would share it with people. Again, if you work with an agency or organization, tell them about who we are and what we do. We can customize programs for you, because right now we're not playing. We're not playing. We're very serious about this. So, man, listen, have a good evening, my friend. Everybody have a good evening. Thank you all so much. And as we get ready to roll, could you drop it for us?
I got to.
Drop it.
All brand new.
All brand new. Come on, drop it.
All brand new. Come on. Here we go. I got a new attitude now. All brand new. Had to rearrange some things. All brand new. Had to think brand new. Now my life brand new. All stuff now. I'm feeling all brand new. Attitude now. All brand new. Rearrange some things. All brand new. Brand new.
All brand new.
All stuff now. I'm feeling
all brand new.
Attitude now.
All brand new. Yeah. Boom.
Coach D, I'm ready, man.
All brand new, brother. Listen, that was awesome, man. Brother, let's do it, man. Everybody take care. Take care, Jay.
Take care,
all right. Hey, Jay, hang in there too. Don't go off yet. Yep.